start off the interview, I wanted to touch on how it was for you growing up in Ancoats in the 60s and 70s and what Manchester was like then.
It wasn't the place it is today, Louis. It was like a big playground in Ancoats back then. We had a swimming pool there, a wash house. We also had a dance hall at one time, but it was very industrial.
How would you say Manchester's changed in the time that you've lived here? Is it a different place? Obviously a lot of things have happened in that time, social media, you know, developments in technology. How's that changed the lifestyle around Manchester?
Well, I think it's encouraged people to come to Manchester. I mean, Howard Bernstein and Richard Leese played a massive role in that, and redesigning the city. But for me, back in the 70s when we started this major development within the city centre, around the Arndale Centre and places like that, it really started to change then. It's like a 40-year programme. It's not just happened overnight. I spoke to someone last week and they were saying every time I come to Manchester it changes and the skyline changes, and that's true, but it's a good thing as well. It's not always, change isn't always a bad thing, but it's hard to bring people along on that journey. And I think especially over the last 3 decades we've been quite successful in Manchester at bringing along people on that journey with us. What does Manchester as a city mean to you? It means everything. When I go and put this chain on, I'm so proud. I know Mum and Dad would have been really proud of me should they have still been with us. And lots of friends, especially where I grew up in Ancoats, every time I see people they're always saying, oh, we're really proud of you. And they're people I grew up with. So that makes me really proud that they're proud of me and that they're showing me that support as well. Because often when we get into roles like this, we don't always get that support. And it's very difficult because you give up your life as a public servant and it affects your family life as well. We're just normal people. I grew up in Ancoats, and if I can do it, anyone can do it in Manchester. What inspired you to get into serving the public and public service? It wasn't a thing that I'd planned, Louis. It was something that just happened. So back in the day when we were, the regeneration of the city started taking place in the 70s, 80s and 90s. During that time, they didn't want street traders on the street, and I used to be a street trader, along with several generations of my family on my dad's side. And on my mum's side, technically they were street traders because they all sold ice cream, even though it was out of vehicles. You still needed a licence to do so from 1974 onwards. And in their infinite wisdom, the council didn't want street traders clogging up the streets. We seen it from a different angle, that we were providing valuable service to the people of Manchester, and that the goods were very reasonably priced. And I think that was evident when everything sort of had this mass exodus back in the 70s over to the Arndale Centre when it was built. C&A went from back Piccadilly. We saw Afflicks and Brown go, Littlewoods. They all moved into the Arndale Centre. And sort of the northern quarter was left derelict for many years. And back in the 90s, we had a steering group to try and rejuvenate and regenerate the northern quarter. And you've seen how thriving it is today. But that's 30 years work that's gone into that. It didn't happen overnight. So that's how I ended up getting involved with trying to help people, because I set up the Manchester Street Traders Association to fight the council, which is really weird because now I'm the Lord Mayor of the city, and I've also sat as chair of licensing for the city. You know, a lot of people might let things happen and not feel like they can make a change, but did you always know that you want to strive for change and strive for better? I think it's something that's bred in you with your families, the family values that are instilled into you, to help people, to be kind to people, to be empathetic towards people suffering and help others along the way. And so I didn't see myself as any big hero. I was just trying to keep my livelihood and helping everyone else keep their livelihood by setting up the Manchester Street Traders Association. And there was often times that I felt like I wanted to give up, like I'd had enough, when one door was shutting after another. But I always tried to be polite, respectful to people that I was dealing with, and I think that got me a long way within the council structure. when I was younger, probably about your age, and I used to sweat before I go into a meeting, I'd be panicking. But what my mum used to say to me is, Carmine, remember, they're only human like you. They have brothers and sisters and families just like you.
What would you say is the most fulfilling part of your job?
Going out every day to see the community groups and establishments throughout our city who are really doing some fabulous work, giving up the time, voluntary, in lots of cases, to help people, which is what I believe in, because what I've done most of my life is try to help people, not hinder people. So that's really rewarding for me.
You've had, constant trials and tribulations throughout your life, things that you would have had to overcome to get to where you are today. Each time you managed to overcome them. What would you say to people out there who are struggling and might be feeling like giving up on their aspirations?
Don't give up. Never give up, because the only failure in life is never to try something. You can't fail if you're trying. Sometimes I wanted to give up, but I never give up, because I knew at the end of it I was trying to help people.
Do you think it's important for young people's voices to be heard?
It's so important for young people's voices to be heard, because like I said, we're designing a future that includes them. They are the future. They are the future. Long from now, when you're my age, you'll be looking back saying, the young people are the future. You'll be saying exactly the same things I'm saying to you now, Louis, because you are the future. If I don't listen to what you're telling me, then I'm learning nothing. It may be that I say to you, have you ever thought of it this way, Louis? You might look back and say, actually, that old guy was right. It was okay. I mean, he listened to what I was saying, and then I just had another view. But we got there, because that's how we reach a compromise. And that's how we tackle problems.
Finally, to conclude the interview, my last question is, what's next for you?
I'll just go back to my role as a councillor full-time. Probably go back onto licensing, because that's one of the parts of the council I really like. And challenge stuff I don't think that's right, which I've done most of my life. If I feel it's unfair, then I want to know why I feel it's unfair, and if I feel it's unfair, other people may feel it's unfair. So we need to scrutinise and hold our executive to account, and that's what we do in our roles every day as members of the council. This role gives me a great advantage in one way, because I'm apolitical, so I don't have to have a political view. I have a person view. I have empathy and sympathy when I see things going wrong, and I can try and help people that way.
Carmine, thank you so much for joining me today.
Louis, it's a pleasure.
Honestly, I've really appreciated it, and I've thoroughly enjoyed this interview. So.